Good morning. This address goes to the first year students for Charles Wanga College of Education, both doing computer studies and mathematics, and also those doing primary teachers diploma. I hope you're keeping well, you're fine, you are observing the regulations and the guidelines um, in the wake of the corona COVID-19 virus or pandemic. I'm coming to you this morning ready to indicate that despite what is obtaining with regard to the outbreak, we still need to do something. Life has to continue with regard to our training. The teaching and learning has to continue. So it is for this reason, therefore, that I want to announce to you that the 2020 first year students for both cohorts, the primary teachers diploma and the secondary school teachers diploma for computer studies and mathematics, we are starting our lessons. We are resuming our classes, but this will be done exclusively on the virtual platforms. We have relatively um, adequate infrastructure with regard to ICT, and therefore we are confident that we can be able to deliver through this particular means. And further that, we have an experience. We had an ODL group, open and distance group, that just received the instruction through the cell. And therefore we have gathered enough experience to be able to implement now even with you as full-time students. We will use the platforms available for engagement exclusively will include the Moodle platform. We have a Moodle platform that instruction materials will be uploaded by lecturers, and therefore you'll be requested to log in and access those materials and do the needful. So that's the primary mode of engagement. Other than that, we also use WhatsApp accounts. Various lecturers will create a WhatsApp account according to the subject areas through which you also be able to engage. And of course, lecturers will be at liberty to use any other application that they feel appropriate. But officially, from the college point of view, the Moodle platform for the college and the WhatsApp account, I think, will be very key medium through which we shall be able to engage. And to this effect, the timetables have been produced and they're out, and therefore it is important to follow those particular timetables and to follow the instructions and appointments as they come from your lecturers as to when you'll be assigned to do whatever tasks they will request of you. I know there are questions already that are popping to say we are having difficulties in accessing the Moodle platform or in our locations we don't have adequate internet. I appreciate those challenges and I understand the situation, but I believe we can still do something to navigate around that. With issues of internet, in terms of coverage, I think it's getting close to almost 100% coverage. There are literally very few places where we don't have mobile coverage. So in this particular case, then it may entail that very few students could be affected. But even in that particular respect, I think effort should be made. Because I know that even in those particular areas, there are some pockets where, in some areas where they're still able to access internet. If it means getting to a mountaintop or near a tree or near a tower or near the road, I think I would encourage you to do that, because you will not afford to lag behind, because your friend will progress, you remain behind. And once we open, we may not be able to repeat for the sake of the person who will not have a chance. That's why I'm encouraging you to make every effort so that you are able to access the internet and therefore through log in into the platforms. In terms of data bundles, yes, it will be a cost on my part. But for me, I think it's an investment, because this is the new normal where we'll be teaching exclusively via these particular platforms, and therefore we can't do without data. So again, I urge you to see how you can, you can get enough data to be able to log on these particular platforms. Data bundles, they're in different, options. They're quite affordable. For instance, at Ikalia for Airtel, you can access 750 megabytes of data at 5 kwacha. That would last for a week or so. I think that's quite adequate, data to be able to use for the entire week. That's one example I'm trying to give. So the decisions are yours, but these are the options that we're trying to encourage you to, to look at, so that you're not disadvantaged when it comes to logging on the platforms. The other issue is that the issue of analytics. Once you log on the system, once you log in on the Moodle platform, for example, the system will be able to tell us who logged in, at what time, and for how long. And one thing that we've done as a college is to give credit for the logins. Okay, so the more you log in into the platform, the more credit you accrue, that will go towards your assessment, continuous assessment, give you a bit of a credit to that effect. Now again, it's not just a question of logging in, it's logging in and doing work, meaningful work. Okay, so that's what we encourage you to do. There are those that are struggling to get into our Moodle platforms. I think the instructions are very clear, but I think our technical team have labored to explain and put a bit of literature as to how you can log in. If you are still having difficulties in logging in our Moodle platform, for instance, you can still get to our technical team so that they're able to assist you on how you will be able to log in. Your ID, your user ID, and of course the PIN, which you can be able to adjust after your initial login. So that's what I wanted to encourage you, that in this new normal, this is the means through which we want to engage you, because it is for your benefit. We don't want to unnecessarily, as a college, to keep you longer than we desire. Even if things would normalize in future, we'll have a very little backlog of work to look at, because much of it will have done it through this virtual learning, teaching and learning. So therefore, I want you to take advantage, to embrace this, so that we move together. There will be some problems, technical issues, so I encourage, like I've indicated, for you to get in touch with our experts. Get in touch with Mr. Mogola if you're experiencing any issues. Get in touch with Mr. Skewer, get in touch with Mr. Study. So these are the three people that man our systems here. So with that done, I'm looking forward for your positivity when it comes to engaging in this kind of learning, and I'm looking forward that each and every one will embrace this mode of teaching. With that said, I wish you all the best, but please take care. Again, we have COVID-19, exercise, hygiene, hand hygiene, social distancing, and all the other guidelines that are put before us by government to ensure that we don't contract this coronavirus. So with this done and said, I say thank you so much.